Coming to you locally from the loading ready run orbiting underground moon base, it's the LRRcast.
Welcome, everyone, to our, what is it, quarterly now?
Yeah.
It's about every 3 months.
It's about every 3 months. Have we done 4 of them? We're reviewing anime.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been about
what we've watched in the past 3
And what
months.
future us will have watched.
What future of us will be interested in having watched, but right now are interested in watching.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is the 2015 summer recap, and then fall preview.
Yes.
And I'm going to hopefully get that right when I submit all this stuff to Paul to put this up.
Perfect.
Who are you?
I'm Beej. You may know me from such things that I've watched in the past as Lupin III and Eikoku Ike Nihon no Taberu, which are 2 things I didn't watch last season because one of them came out and was terrible, and one of them didn't come out here. It came out in Italy.
We'll get to
that, won't we?
Wow, structure, not our game. Is
How
it?
about you?
My name is Heather. Let's continue going.
My name is Coriander. Hello.
Hi, you might know me. I'm Ian Horner. I'm the Gundam one.
You're the one that is a Gundam?
The Gundam collectible.
I would love to be known for like an entire series myself. I'm gonna be actually after this podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no kidding.
Move away from
That
the
should be
mic to
better.
breathe in.
Yes. It's a hard one to do.
It's a deep cut.
So yeah, let's just dive right in. I mean,
Okay, Heather has an entire purple binder full of all the stuff that we've watched. In the interest of keeping this straightforward, because we watched a lot of stuff and we almost watched everything together, we'll go do all of our stuff, and then you guys will do your stuff, and then we'll just do previews, like Cori suggested.
Yes, Cori is amazingly smart.
Yeah.
So you start.
Okay.
what did you watch this last season?
This last
what
season.
did we watch?
You know what? Okay, I'm going to start with the most controversial thing in the room, because we'll get that out of the way right now. I watched Monster Musume no Iru Nichijou, Everyday Lives of Monster Girls.
Did you watch all of it?
I watched all of it.
Yes,
I
you
watched
did.
all of it.
What do you think?
Jeez. Christ. I was... Okay, here's how I feel. I read the manga. I like the manga, actually. The problem with the anime was, as I've said to several people, I don't feel that it was artfully done. Because the show is about snake tits. It's about a lot of other tits as well, but snake tits and centaur tits and slime tits and harpy tits, really not bird tits, but there we go. But it's about a lot of tits.
I'm a little disappointed that I don't have any video to go up for this one.
Yeah, I know. It's jiggle jiggle heaven, and it's really I was upset because, or I shouldn't say I was upset, but I was let down because of the fact that in the manga you read it and it's like comedy, the guy almost dies, the guy almost dies, and then here's some titillation 2 pages from the end, another joke, almost dies, and we move on to the next thing.
So it is like a harem series, and it is
Yes.
tits
It is-
everywhere, but the manga focus is a lot more on comedy.
The
anime is more on the tits.
Yeah. Now, the thing is that the further you go into the manga, the further it became clear that it's like the people publishing are like, we're going to need to see more tits and more nipples. And so then because it used to be more about teasing this stuff, I always felt, and then it's like, some of the more recent stuff is like, oh, you have giant breasts and it's painful, so let me suck all the milk out of your tits to help you be more comfortable.
So it's full on nipply breast. No, it's not animal covered.
Yeah,
like
no.
fake
Like, it
things
kind of
underneath.
started that, and then, this is the manga anyway, and then it became nipply breast. And so in the broadcast version, of course, there are all these boobs, like, everywhere that are just barely covered. And that'll mean that when it goes to Blu-ray, they have lots of options to put in all the nipples, so they can go to Blu-ray, and that'll drive sales of the Blu-ray. And that's the thing, is that I got very cynical about it. I'm kind of like, they focused an awful lot on, let's give lots, because it's anime, let's give lots of jiggle and lots of whatever, and put a lot of that in to eat up all this time. And I'm like, but the story was fun and kind of cute, and yeah, you could have still added the titillation in, but I felt like they just pushed it too far. And I'm like, for my tastes, if I was a lot younger, I would have probably been like, yeah, sweet. But like I'm 36 years old, and I'm kind of like, I don't care anymore.
Beej promised me that the slime girl was cute.
She is so
and the
cute.
slime girl was more rapey than
Yeah.
cute. But, which is why I stopped watching, because I wasn't that interested anyway. I'm actually more disappointed that thing just didn't go full hentai.
Yeah, the whole thing just really sounds kind of gross. To
Yeah,
me, and
it kind of did. And I mean, the 12th episode, I was like, one of the fun things about the series, like the manga series too, is that they have another group of monsters that aren't the main group. They're the Monster Ops Neutralization Group, MON, M-O-N, and they are like a special ops team that takes out people who are doing terrible things to monsters elsewhere, and they're kind of just a side thing. And in a couple episodes, we get some focus on them, but not a lot, and there's still a lot of jiggle, whatever, and I'm like, but they were really interesting, and it was still funny, and it was still goofy from the manga, and I feel like this just kind of was like, it's still funny and goofy, because we got to fill 15 minutes or 30 minutes for an episode. It's too much, and I was like, but I watched the whole thing, waiting to extract all the little bits that I wanted out of it, trying to ignore all the stuff where it was like, this is just painful to watch.
it's a waste of time, or
Well,
If you like the manga, watch the series. If you haven't read the manga, don't bother with the series.
Okay.
If you like tits, go ahead, but you can probably find better tits.
There are
Yeah,
better
there are
tits
better
series.
tits.
Better tits.
There are better tits.
Yeah. So disappointment.
okay.
Cool. Good. We also watched Akagami no Shirayuki-hime, which is also known as Snow White with the Red Hair.
So good.
It's a delightful light story that is awfully generic. And I have a couple problems with it, but overall, if you enjoy a little bit of light fantasy that's not actual dragons fantasy, but it's
Yeah,
like,
but like the entire premise isn't it like a twist on standard fairy tale stuff?
What's the basic
there's
breakdown?
barely any fairy tale thing that
A
happens.
girl with red hair, which doesn't happen in this entire world apparently. She is almost taken by a bad prince who's like, I want you to come be my concubine. She's like, F it, and she takes off.
The prince of her country wants to have her as a concubine, and she's like, nope, that's not for me. You like my red hair so much, fine. She cuts it off, leaves it for him, and like runs off to another country, meets that country's prince.
Just purely incidentally.
As he leaps over a wall on top of her, and
they become friends.
Fall in love.
No,
become friends.
Let's be clear. They become friends. Then they fall in love, because that's how it is.
Did you
Right.
want to be
No,
the
no,
one to
but
talk about the series?
I don't want it to be like, oh, they fall in love. It's like, no, they become friends.
Do you want to?
No, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
I know you're very excited because I agree it's a good series, but
All right.
just I know you had a lot of tits.
I'll
going
slow my
on,
roll.
And now you, okay, cool. The problem I have with it is she starts off as this, I'm gonna be like, I'm taking my own destiny into my own hands. I have a path I want to take. I'm gonna go to this other country. I'm gonna learn about medicine. I'm amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm gonna do. And then it kind of feels like it teeters off, and that doesn't become
Does
that.
it just become more about the love story and then less about
It
the
becomes
character?
about the interaction. Like, they are friends, as
Yeah.
Beej said.
But it just kind of loses all momentum
But like,
that it had.
Yeah, and there's points from the story where the focus becomes so much more about the prince for a while that it's like the story may have forgotten who the main character was. But otherwise, it's like it's a nice light story.
Okay.
Good artwork?
Yeah,
Yeah.
artwork's
It's
decent.
Bones, isn't it?
I don't
can't
know
remember.
offhand.
Okay.
I know.
don't have
I
that
do.
written
I do
down.
know that the opening themes aren't very good.
That is true.
Or the
There-
opening theme and the ending theme.
That's
There's,
okay.
there's one weird thing in the opening that I have to skip every time because there's a point where they're like riding on horses next to each other, but there's a third person in the middle, and he reaches his hand out over front of the other guy, and that guy just disappears as they become dance partners, and it weirds me out.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a cut for when they finally do grab hands, and it cuts to them now
Spooky.
dancing with each other. And
But a person disappears.
yeah, in the
Vanish.
meantime, Yeah, I liked it, but I have to agree that one thing I wanted to see more of is her personal quest. And in order to establish this relationship between them, it was like, we're going to just not talk about her quest as much.
Okay. Overall rating? Good.
I'd give it probably a 7.
Well, numbers don't matter. Watch it or don't watch it.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, I think
like,
you
if you're
should.
looking for something light.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next.
All right. Oh, yeah.
We got a lot to cover.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
back to me. we watched Durarara
Season
2, 10.
Yeah,
and
we
I
actually
think
watched the whole
Shoal.
thing.
I think that counts. I'm not sure, but we just finished watching it a night or two ago. And if you like Durarara, that's great because boy, you're gonna like this, and it's really good. And the third cour is coming.
Yeah, my understanding is it doesn't stop being Durarara, so
Yeah.
it's
No.
goodness all
So
around.
it's totally so there is a movie coming up
yeah.
where we get to see the weird trip that Celti and Shino took. So that's going to be fun. So a little side episode.
There's a weird thing they
They go on like a
they're
carriage
like,
trip.
oh, there's a thing with a werewolf. We're never telling you about that.
Yeah,
Huh.
That's
but
what
that's
that
coming.
movie's about.
And then there's like supposedly I think a special as well that's supposed to be coming out that we're supposed to get, and then the third course starts in January. So we'll be talking about that, I'm sure, when that happens. So yeah, but Durarara, so good. Oh God, so good.
That is not Durarara.
No, it is not.
That's okay.
That's
Ah.
okay.
Time to cry.
After you. Oh God, yeah.
We watched a show called Charlotte, also known as Charlotte in English.
Nice.
Like the lady's name.
So that was the one that was about
The spider.
when kids go through puberty. Some of them have special powers, and there's this guy who's a jerk in the first episode because he's just using his ability to take over people to cheat on tests and
Right.
stuff. And then he meets a girl, and things change. Mostly in a way that's like he goes to a special school now that's kind of built to take in these people. He's on the student council. They're going to go find more of them to make sure that they don't get taken by scientists and used
Right.
as guinea pigs. But after puberty is over, the powers are supposed to go away.
But in the meantime, you'll get carved up if you get caught, right? So,
Yeah.
But
And-
nobody really knows that.
Yeah, well, like you get experimented on a lot, and they talk about that a bit. The show is it's a good show. While I was watching it, I was really confused if the show knew where its plot was, because there'd be like the first episode's really strong, the next episode's like, okay, we pulled back from that because he's not such a bad guy, and then there'd be another episode where they're like, yeah, no, this is clearly where the plot is and where everything's going to be, and then they pull back from that again, and then they do something else until they finally hit the twist where they're like, this is what the plot is. And you're like, oh, it all makes sense now.
Why
wish
did it
didn't-
take 9 episodes to
yeah,
get to
I wish
that
it didn't
point?
take to like episode 8.
Yeah.
But it's just a self-contained series,
But
so
yet-
I guess it's...
And it's like I think it's worth it because it tells a really neat story. It's the surge and the ebb that's kind of frustrating to deal with. But when I felt like watching it, like looking at it in retrospect, I'm like, you will watch it and you will not know what you're getting from episode to episode, which is an
Hard.
endorsement, but
Maybe.
also hard to convince people
Yeah.
that that's what they should be watching. But there's a lot of story going on there. Like there's a ton of story.
Yeah, it's good.
It's by PA Works
Okay. That's...
and like 6 other companies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like PA Works is apparently
Yeah.
they were organizing the
It's
whole thing.
supervising, and then they farmed out all of the animation
Yeah, like
to everyone else in the
He
world.
is in it. Movic is in it. Like all these big
But they didn't do a
companies.
thing like they did with Space Dandy, where it's like, here people can showcase their style.
Yeah.
There's a director.
This is
Yeah,
just
no.
No, we need people
just-
to animate sections.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah.
They did some really good stuff further in about depression when an awful thing happens to a character that I really liked.
That's really unknown in the anime.
Yeah.
So, it's your turn again.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
Okay. Gakkou Gurashi.
also
okay.
known as School Live.
School live. I keep saying live.
I think it's
Live.
live.
Yeah, but I
Live,
think it's got to
live.
be live.
Yeah.
But anyway, so anyone who I pulled the wool over their eyes on, I'm so glad because I know we had a couple of reactions from people who watched this expecting like where Beej is like, oh, you should go watch this thing. It's really good and it's really cute, and Beej didn't give away the twist at all. So there is a twist in this, and I don't know if people have watched the whole thing or not, but my take on this is, having read the manga, I do like what goes on in the manga quite a lot. I do feel like the twists that the anime goes through to make it, they try to suit it as best as they could, and there's a lot of good stuff in the anime. So it's one of those things that if you haven't watched it, go watch it. If you have watched it, go read the manga, because I don't think we're going to get another cour of this, even though everyone thinks that we are. at least people that I've been seeing posts on. And if you've read the manga, you should watch this because it's fun to see all this stuff animated, but I'm going to go back and read the manga again anyway. Like I think we're only 17 chapters in or something.
So I think it's safe to get over spoilers.
Can we spoil it?
We should really be blowing the spoiler horn at the beginning of these.
I guess because
anyway.
it's over, right? So it's like, okay, so the spoiler here is that this is a zombie show. Not the 4 girls are not zombies. What we're seeing in the beginning, it looks like everything's happy and fun and safe and at school, but it turns out this is actually the first episode is a precursor to revealing that there's a zombie apocalypse going on, and it's super good. Like it's interesting to watch these girls live in their school during. Like try to keep themselves safe and try to have food and water and electricity.
It's basically like a slice of life school series where they follow all of the tropes of a school series, but there are undertones because everywhere's zombies and they might die because they're doing things like a test of courage or going to visit someone or something like that.
And you might think, well, that seems like a dumb thing to do in like a zombie apocalypse. Why would you do things like that? The reason they do those things is because one of the characters is delusional. And it's her delusion. They're trying to keep her.
Well, because she's broke.
Yeah, they're basically trying to keep her together because she cracked once. And it's kind of like what happens if she cracks again. We need everybody we can get. She's a friend, and so they keep her together. But they also find that by helping her stay together and helping her do these kind of things, they're staying positive as well.
But by delusional, she sees everything normally.
Yeah, that's
we
why.
need to point that out.
That's why
if we're going to pull the spoilers.
When you see the anime opening, watch every opening because the opening changes between episode by episode to see. Then you can see actually what's happened and how things are getting worse.
Yeah,
which is I think a really cool thing to do as well.
And the problem for some people that I've read with that show is they can't get over the moe style.
Yeah.
They can't get over like some of the slice of life elements, and I don't blame them for that because that is heavily in there. So if that annoys you to the brink of everything, then it's definitely not a show you probably enjoy.
You're really speaking to what the problems I had with that is that it felt like popcorn, and there was nothing to it except that what if school life but zombies?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I did like is there are a few points where they set up like there might be a jump scare being set up. Mm-hmm. But there is no jump scare.
Yeah, they don't indulge
They
it.
release the tension with something else. And as a person who doesn't really like jump scares, I'm happy about that.
I guess that would be a good thing too.
They're very much devoted to making this a show that doesn't have any gore in it.
To deal with.
And all the zombies are kind of blurred out, which is really good, I think. So I totally recommend this. You're
Moving
up.
on?
Yeah,
Cool.
go ahead.
Joukamachi no Dandelion, or Castletown Dandelion. This was the one about the 9 superpowered siblings who are
a royal
royalty,
family.
and there is an election happening, and at the end of the election, you will have voted in your new king. Which sounds pretty good. The main character is super shy. She doesn't like the fact that there are surveillance cameras everywhere. So she wants to become king so she can take away all the surveillance cameras, and she can manipulate gravity.
Oh, we also don't find out the reason why she doesn't like being watched until the very end of the series.
Yeah, but it's assumed it's just because she's really shy.
Yeah.
Like, I like it. It's not bad, but they decided to do, instead of like 30 minutes of a thing that just kind of flows together, they chopped it up into, there's like 2 to 3 episodes per episode.
It's like 15-minute episodes.
Where because there's so many characters, they keep going back and forth, and for a while it kind of felt like one of those status quo shows where we're talking about this election, and we kind of get closer to it sometimes, but that's either never going to happen, or when the election does happen, nothing will actually change.
Oh, and as far as like the setting goes, this is like modern day Japan. This is like it's a kingdom, but it is just modern day Japan. Everything everywhere is just all modern day. There is a huge castle that's on an island or something like next to the town.
They live in a normal house because the king wants them to live normally, and have people
Oh.
see them, and the election thing's kind of weird, but it was interesting.
The king and the queen, like they live at home with them, and then he commutes to work. He like commutes to the castle every day to rule, but he lives in this house with them. The mom lives in the house with them. The 9 kids all live in the same. It's a big house, you know. So
Yeah.
I think, and that's kind of appealing as well.
I'm disappointed that we never learn what the king's power is, because you're the thing
reason
that
you're
marks
royalty.
you as royalty is that you have a weird power.
I'm just actually interested at this point. I'm realizing that for all these shows, I can never tell whether it's a comedy or a drama.
I think this one was labeled as a comedy.
It's definitely a comedy. Yeah,
It's not.
it's not dramatic at all.
It's not dramatic.
No,
I would have liked it as a drama. I think. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I would have liked it. I think more.
it's just a bunch of
straight
character
drama.
sketches, really. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. It's your turn again.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was good. Like I liked it.
I think
but-
the drama version of that is called Code Geass.
Jitsu wa Watashi wa.
Right.
Right.
Yes, you have feelings about
Yeah.
this.
What a goddamn letdown.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You've hyped up this manga to me for years,
It's so good.
and I can't get over the art style.
I
and
know.
Also,
Well, the problem is
and also the story. But
the
go on.
if you the okay. So in the manga, Jitsu wa Watashi wa. Actually, okay. The story is a boy at school likes a girl. And he decides to go to the classroom to confess to her, and when he walks in the room, she is stretching and revealing her giant bat wings. She's a vampire. And as we find out over the course of whatever, a lot of other people in the school have secrets as well. They tend to all be girls. Actually, they are all
They're all
girls.
girls.
They all
It's a
are
harem
girls.
series.
It's a harem series, essentially. Except, I don't feel like it is...
It's a harem series.
It's not a traditional harem series.
It's a
They're
traditional
not
harem
all trying to
series.
sleep with him. They're not all trying to sleep with
They're
him.
Not
all
all-
gradually falling
They
in love
all
with him.
like him. They all love him. They
Okay.
all want to be with him.
And he loves
No.
them too.
They're not
No.
all trying to jump his
Okay,
boat.
don't fucking correct me on this, because they don't. Not all of them are like that. There's
Okay,
a few
fine.
that are.
The one brother doesn't.
Not all the girls are like that. There are some that are, but not all of them are. And depends on how far you are in the series, I guess, to know whether or not that's all true. But there we go. The thing is that what I love about the series is that it's really well written as a comedy, and it is designed to work as a comedy. It's designed to work as an endless comedy.
and it sounds like they actually have characters to themselves.
Yeah, they all do. It's a great series. And what is a letdown about the show is that while they try to capture as much as they can from the manga, they try to concentrate on the romance stuff too much. They don't get goofy enough with the faces and the reactions and all the things that you would see in a real comedy series. And they leave out a lot of the comedy as a result. And it kind of felt like they kind of knew what they were getting into, but and it just felt like a big letdown. They didn't actually develop it in the way that it should have been developed. It's just a madcap comedy. The whole thing should have been done like that.
Because it sounds like you're describing it the same way we had some problems with Sailor Moon earlier this.
Like Sailor Moon Crystal?
Yes.
Yeah. Where it feels like it should be more like X, but it's not.
When you say more like X, do you mean more like the weird chocolate cake episode thing that happened?
Kind of.
Ew.
Yeah, or more like the episode where Akane sets up a booth where they have to both tell the truth, and if not, they get shoved into like a trap or a pit or whatever the hell it was that she set up. I can't remember now because I gloss over a lot of that. So I feel like one of these things where it's like if you've read the manga, you could watch the series, but I don't really see the point because it doesn't do it as well as the manga does. And I hate being like that where it's like, oh, the manga's superior, but it's like, but in this case, it really does feel like it is.
So if you've read the manga, you should watch the series to be disappointed.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, like the manga's fairly funny.
yeah.
And if you haven't read the manga, you should just read the manga and not watch the anime.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so that's-
if you haven't read the manga, if you go watch the anime, you'll be like, why does everyone talk about how good the manga is? It's like, because the anime is not as good. And it's disappointing.
So 2 things so far that get the beach suggestion this year.
Yeah.
Do you remember Million Doll?
Oh.
Yeah. This could have been good.
Million Doll?
Million
Yeah.
Doll. It is each episode is 3 minutes long, so it's very short. Clearly some kind of filler thing. The story is essentially that there's an idol group that Hikikomori is trying to make really popular through her blog. And she's a very popular blog, so she can give them some popularity.
Right.
But then there's also a idol fan otaku guy who wants this other idol to be really popular. And there's this weird suggestion that the two of them are fighting each other to make one of these groups go major instead of just being local idols, which doesn't make sense because they could just both go major.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of them have run into each other, but they don't really seem to know that the other is doing these things, except that it's suggested that they are. The fun thing is you should watch at least the opening to the series once, because then you can watch the most horrifying CG idol dance group ever.
Ooh, that's a pretty high bar.
So bad.
Given actually the two other
What would I compare it to?
I'm going to put in here. But
like high school Seiha girl?
Nope.
Okay.
So again, I want to ask
Blue
because
Submarine
I-
number 6.
Because I can't. Oh god.
Sorry.
Because I can't tell.
Yeah.
Is it sounds to me like you're describing the best Satoshi Kon drama ever.
It should be really good.
It would be good. It partially, I think, needs to be longer than 3 minutes because there's too many characters for it to really cram everything in. They do the weird creepy CG opening out of those 3 minutes, and then they do the thing where in credits they keep the animation going.
They just run the
because
credits over the bottom screen.
They don't have time, and it's like there's stuff that they could really build up here that would be good.
Yeah, but when you take it all in the end and it's like essentially you could have watched the whole thing as a 30-minute episode, it feels like there's way too much story going on and it's not worth it.
Just not enough.
Yeah, it's not paced properly for 30 minutes, but it could be if it was 30 minutes long. Like I think it would benefit from more time.
So skip it then.
Yeah, skip it.
Okay.
But watch the opening once.
Just to hurl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Non Biyori Repeat.
I'm sorry, say again.
Non Biyori Repeat.
Okay.
What does that translate into in English?
Non Biyori Repeat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Non Biyori is a story of 4 girls who live in the countryside and go to school. One's in grade 8, one's in grade 7, one's in grade 5, and one's in grade 3. I think it's grade 3. And then the older brother who is also he's in grade 9, but he never speaks, so we don't talk or think about him ever. It's just these 4 girls have a friendship. It's healing anime. It's really good and super goddamn pretty. Like it's really, really well illustrated. If you have a hard on for watching Totoro, that didn't come out right at all. Holy shit!
What?
If you have a hard on for Totoro,
You should seek help.
Can we
Okay,
just pretend that so we
really
start over?
like Ghibli-esque.
If you really like Ghibli things,
If you like Ghibli landscapes,
if you're really into
and it's
landscapes,
not sexually at all.
not sexual at all.
God damn it!
You okay?
If you like little girls,
no, please stop.
god damn.
Okay. So
We saved this as the thing to watch after Gakkou Gurashi.
Okay.
Because it was decided that we needed something to, in case this thing got really creepy and stuff and we couldn't sleep at night, we wanted something to wash that out of our brains. We ended up talking about Gakkou Gurashi for 10 or 20 minutes usually after we watch an episode because I get up to get food and then we're just gabbing about what on the episode. So anyway, but yeah, Non Biyori is just it's very, very light. It's very soft. It's very slow.
it's fluff.
And it's cute, and it's such cute fluff, and it's just fun to watch the interaction. All the girls have a lot of character.
Here's what 4 girls of varying ages who are young would do if they lived in the country. They would go hang out at this clubhouse. The 5-year-old would get totally tricked into thinking that they can remove their thumbs and that they might be demons and that there really are princesses in bamboo shoots.
Yeah.
And therefore you can't dig up the bamboo shoots without checking. It
sounds like Higurashi.
without that part.
Yeah, it's so cute. It's like high recommend from me.
Okay.
The original series and then Repeat, I say watch them both. They're just darling. I mean, you have to be into slow slice of life series. If you're not into that kind of thing, you definitely won't like this at all. But if you're willing to give it a shot, do it.
All right. I'm going to talk about a thing that is maybe somewhat creepy. called Makura no Danshi, or Pillow Boys.
Oh, okay, yeah. I wanted to hear how this went.
I watched all of this morning.
Marathoned a bunch of...
Well, it turns out they're only 4 minutes long each.
Yeah.
That's not enough to sleep with.
I didn't know that.
It's a short nap. Fine.
All right.
So the premise is body pillows.
What if body pillows,
animated,
but alive?
But they're not really body pillows. They're just, these are characters that could be your body pillows. It's weird because the description about everything makes the show sound like it has way more depth than it really does, because the description's like, oh, they all live in the same town underneath this thing, and like that never comes up in any of these episodes. So yeah, I've got like 2 pages of notes,
Wow.
but I'm not going to go through all of them. They are 4 minutes long. They're really kind of weird because there's absolutely no background music.
Right. Interesting.
They're almost always talking to the camera directly, but not quite always, because there's a few shots where it's like this guy's talking to you, but that is blocked off so you can't see that you're missing.
Okay, yeah.
Which is kind of weird because they're having a conversation with you. They are saying things to you, and then they're responding. There's like little gaps.
You're supposed to respond to them.
Where maybe you're like, oh, don't say that, and you're like, what? I'm not annoying? Well, okay. It's like stuff like that. So it's kind of
Beach babe.
quite weird to watch. Each episode has a different character who is in a different location. So a lot of them are very trope based. The background music thing is really funny when you come across the one who's the music danshi, because they label them that way, who plays the violin and is like, I will play the violin for you to sleep. And he starts to play. There's no music, but it does all that hyped up stuff you see in music anime where the guy's like, and crowds and stuff.
There's sparkles
So you're
and
watching
shit.
him. You were watching him mime playing a violin in slideshow motion.
But he's playing an animated violin, but there's no music.
You're not hearing it.
And then when he's done, he's like, "Oh, my performance was so glimmering that you could not sleep. I am very sorry. You want me to play until you can sleep?" So it's just very weird on that one.
No,
Most of them are very innocent, though. It's just like, "Oh, hey, you're home from work," but some of them have weird connotations to them. Like the second episode is literally the mature coworker.
Well, the whole connotation that you are laying down to sleep with these men.
But you're not, like, the first one, you're coming home.
Oh yeah.
He's on your bed and he's talking about how you must have worked hard today. The second one is the mature coworker who is giving you a ride home, and you've just woken up because you've apparently drunk so much that you've passed out. That's a little weird to me. There's the transfer student that you're riding to on the bus in the morning. You know, you're awfully tired, but he will wake you before you get to your stop.
These all sound like very romantic situations.
There's the super energetic hot 5-year-old, which is the description that was labeled on the episode.
No, I can see that too.
He calls you sister.
Yeah.
And it's nap time, and he's mad because he's not tired, but you are going to take away his snacks if he doesn't sleep, and you should sleep together. There's the really creepy one. The only one that actually creeped me out was what they called the flower arrangement danshi.
Oh, thank God, I was the murderer danshi.
It's like baby.
Twins.
The baby inside you.
This one's really, really
Wait,
weird.
twins?
Yeah, they're twins. This one's really weird. Because they wake you up. It's the middle of the night. And I think you're all students at a flower arranging school or something.
That's an anime I'd watch.
They're like, oh, master yelled at you, but that's okay. Oh, gee, you're like this plant. We have a leaf. Let's find the leaf. Oh, no, like this. Find the leaf. Oh, well, you hide the leaf on you, and we'll find the leaf. And I'm like, this is really sinister and creepy.
Wow.
Because it's very dark.
Yeah.
And they look like evil twins. They don't look like
Hot twins. Evil twins.
I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
The only one I did
Are they
find,
hotter than the 5-year-old?
Like in your personal opinion.
The 5-year-old was really annoying.
Well, they generally are.
The one I actually thought was really funny was the librarian one, because he wakes you up in the library because they're closing soon. And then he's like, oh, well, I really enjoy recommending books to people, and he sees that you're reading a book called 23 Ways to Have an Exciting Life, and he's like, oh, you want to have an exciting life? I have a book for you. And he puts a book in front of you about kittens, and he's like, kittens are very exciting. It was really funny.
Yep, this is
adorable.
Okay.
This is like Red Shoe Diaries, but it's
Oh, there is also one who's a 40-year-old man. Or he must be, because he's a food stall guy who's got scars and things.
I would have assumed that this
That's another
series
fetish.
was designed to be a watch all of them, then pick the one that you like, and that's the one you're going to fall asleep to all the time. That's the one that you'll always have near you, as opposed to this is an evolving universe of people who talk to you quietly.
The description read, the anime promises a new and novel sleeping side-by-side experience entirely in the first-person perspective to heal tired hearts.
So it's this sleepy woman walking around town running into different...
Falling asleep in various locations.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, that's different. When you twist it like that, it
Yeah.
becomes a completely different show. Which I would love to watch that in the third person. Just a woman walking around, and she falls asleep, and she wakes up, and some guy just appears and is talking to her, and I'm just kind of like, what's happening now?
It feels to me that it's one of those sexual, non-sexual shows.
Yeah.
That's for women, finally. Which
Yeah.
is nice.
No, it's definitely, they always generally refer to you as a girl. There's always a point where you're sleepy or tired, or they're trying to make you go to sleep because you might as well relax. There's nothing really weird about it. There's just a couple episodes I find that are a little weird.
The situation seems a little bit strange.
Yeah,
for
but
me.
overall, there's nothing weird.
No, it sounds perfectly okay, and actually a new interesting concept.
I think the question in everyone's mind is not whether or not they should watch it, but in your opinion, which one of these is most like me?
No,
You were thinking it, right?
No.
Yep.
no,
Oh, God.
no.
There are only 12 of them.
No. Actually, there's 11 because the 12th one is a special on the DVD.
Please just pick the 5-year-old and be done with this.
I'm not picking the 5-year-old because he likes Sentai and you don't like Sentai
Don't like
enough.
Sentai.
You could maybe be.
I mean, if I'm good, I
Food
can
stall.
Yeah, you could maybe be the food stall guy, which is like the 40-year-old man.
be... Sweet! I'll take it.
Scarred up ex-Yakuza. I don't see it.
He has a scar that he shows you, and then he tells you that it's from his appendicitis.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
So he's
there we
not
go.
like that scarred up.
I assumed that he was like ripped and scarred.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
he's
like,
ripped.
I'll take it.
Fantastic.
Maybe by the time I'm 40. Would you recommend people watch it?
I think it should be a show that you check out because it's really weird to watch a show where the character's talking to the camera.
And they're not doing anything.
Like they're just talking straight to you.
Okay.
And they're 4 minutes long.
Because I was thinking of like training with Hanako, where it's like Hanako is going to work out now, and you can watch and work along with her. But all
Granted-
you're doing is sitting there and watching her and her giant breasts do sit-ups.
Pretty sure there's a bathing one as well.
Yeah, there's all sorts of them.
Granted, you probably would enjoy it more probably as a girl or perhaps someone who leans more towards liking boys.
Fair enough.
But watch an episode. Pick your favorite guy and
Yeah, they're all labeled
And
as
put
part
it
of the
in the
episode
comments.
names.
tell us who we are
Yeah.
as the Sleeping Boys.
If you figure out who you are as a sleeping boy, and then send
Pillow
that to
boys.
Graham at loadingreadyrun.com
What?
with no, don't give him any indication of why you're doing this.
No subject. No subject in the
we
subject line.
after we snooze into the
right.
future shiny and chrome.
Beej,
Okay.
it's your turn now.
My turn. Ushio and Tora.
That was an anime from 1997.
I dropped that shit.
It's still from the 90s, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is totally from the
That
90s.
show.
Can't take it. I don't care how much they updated the animation. And we watched the first episode, and I'm like, I could maybe watch the second one, but I don't care.
Ushio and Tora being, of course, a remake of Calvin and Hobbes for Japanese monsters and ghosts.
For Japanese chunibyo.
Yes.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. What if I had a giant tiger that could murder everybody?
But I had a spear so that it couldn't murder me.
And I
Yeah.
have hair.
So there we go. I stopped watching it after the first episode.
I think it probably could be a really interesting series if I was into that kind of thing.
It's a genre. It's
No, like it's very clearly it's genre, but I think it looks like it might be well done.
it's
From the one episode I
There's
watched.
a reason they remade it, obviously.
We didn't watch it. Let's stop talking
Yes.
about it.
Fine. Working.
Yes!
Season 3, also known
Wait.
as Wagnaria in North America.
For no good reason.
Exclamation point! Exclamation point!
Well, the Wagnaria is the name of the
Three
restaurant.
exclamation
Yeah, it's actually working bang bang bang.
Yeah.
They even make fun of it in the title because in the opening sequence, everybody does this to the camera,
which allows you to find out that they're American and not German.
and
Yeah,
and then
for
Yamada's in the background, and she gives the peace sign, and then she looks around at everybody else, and then corrects it and gives the triple peace sign, the
yes,
W.
yes, you have to describe it for those not watching the video version.
Triple piece.
Yeah, triple
Triple
peace.
piece. It's okay. So, third season of Working. First and second season, I didn't really care about because it is a weird, goofy series, and I just did not. I know you
It's
really
all
liked
slice
it.
of life.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I did
nothing
not care
happens.
that much because
Stuff
nothing really
happens.
happens. Nothing really happens. It's very status quo.
Yeah,
Season 3, because it sounds like they're not making anymore.
the manga's over.
Is where stuff actually starts to happen. People have relationships, things end, and I was like, oh, now I care. The problem. So I know Beej is going to go on and on about how amazing this is. So
Heather,
I'm
I
just
like
going to
your
get this
taste.
out of
I
the
want to
way.
say this.
I'm just going to get this out of the way. I can't recommend season 3 unless you really like the stuff, so that you watch season 1 and 2, because otherwise season 3 makes no sense.
Yep.
But if you're looking for more season 1 and 2, it's unfortunate because
No, season
things
3
are
will
gonna,
probably still appeal to you.
No,
Okay.
if you liked season 1 and 2, you will be a fan of season 3, because then all the things get sewn up.
But if you're looking for things to actually happen, you probably don't want to actually go through season 1 and 2 to get the 3.
And here's the best part.
So now he can do this for
The
6
last
hours.
episode, they tease something is going to happen, and
Oh, that's right.
they ended on a cliffhanger,
Oh.
and it's like, but the manga's over. You're not making any more. There isn't a fourth cour coming. And then they immediately show an ad for a 1-hour special to end the whole series that's coming out in like a couple months, or I fucking come out in a year and I don't care. I'm watching it. I'm so excited.
Who's pregnant?
I don't care.
It
No,
looks like
it's all done like a Lord of
all
the Rings
pregnant.
RPG. The whole episode looks like it's going to be all done like an RPG, and it looks amazing.
That sounds amazingly cost saving.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see it. Load of the Takanashi.
I'm out of things that I watched and want to actually talk about.
Let's see. Did I
Do
have
you
anything left on
Have
mine?
anything left?
We watched all of Gatchaman Crowds.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
And Insight?
We just started
We
Insight,
just started Insight, which
Yeah.
is why I'm not talking about it.
but it's really good. So I can't wait to talk about it when we're actually done watching it. And then I didn't watch any of the other two things. Okusama ga Seitokaicho. I did not download any of that, so I'll have to go looking for it. I don't even know if somebody translated. And Yankee-kun na Yamada-kun to Megane-chan to Majo. The Yankee-kun and Megane-chan crossover with Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches.
Of course.
I didn't see it come up anywhere yet, and I wasn't looking that hard, so I'll have to go looking for it again and get it, because I think it's going to be
Okay.
good.
How about things you did watch?
I'm done.
Okay.
That's
cool.
the season.
You guys should talk for a while.
Okay, let's.
Drown it.
Wakakozake, which I'm sure is on your list. You're going to talk about
just
it.
downloaded all of that because I didn't realize it was out. Much like there's a few shows that I keep trying to find.
Did you watch it?
No.
Then I have to talk about it.
I guess you do.
Okay, fine.
Damn it! We watched all of Wakakozake, which is like 5-minute long episodes about a blonde
No,
Japanese girl.
You really should correct that. You watched all of it. I played on my phone and ignored it.
I wasn't
And
watching.
she's an OL.
She's an OL. She's like in her mid-20s, and she goes walking down, I'm sure, through whatever streets of whatever, and she ends up in these bars, and it's just a nice healing anime where she drinks liquor and talks about how good the food is she's eating.
Yeah.
It's one thing that Japan does really well is let's talk about food.
Yeah.
They do a lot of it, and they're very good at it, and this is a show that's very good at it too.
Every now and then I search for things that I know haven't come out yet, and Wakakozake was one of them, and Super Short Comics is the other one right now that I'm
Yeah.
still
Which actually
burning for.
reminds me of another thing. Eikoko Ike Nihon o Taberu. This is the thing about I think Michael Booth is his name,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
his
yeah.
and his wife and his
family
two
and-
kids. I found episodes of it, so we watched a third of the first episode because it's in the English dub and it's also Japanese as well.
Right.
Yeah, because they aired it in the UK?
Yeah, they aired in the
As
UK.
well?
It was kind of the idea, but they also decided, well, we'll air this in Japan, but we'll have Japanese people speaking and then have subtitles for it. And we watched the first third of it, and I had to shut it off because it was one of those things where Japan is an inscrutable nightmare.
Oh,
Let's analyze, and we'll make sure that the kids think that it's incredibly doesn't make any fucking sense. And then we'll have the parents try to correct them, but not that hard because we need to make it look weird and mysterious. And that's how it felt to me when I was watching it.
It was not good in English, and in Japanese, it also felt not good.
The jokes landed better in Japanese, but it didn't work in English. And I just kind of felt like, but I don't really care to watch it in Japanese either.
I think I'd like to watch an episode of that or two. So
Yeah, get the Japanese dub and experience that first, and let me know if you liked it.
You have to let me know. You want to go first?
We can go together.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, we watched one episode of Gakkou Gurashi.
Yes.
You forced that upon me. I found it.
Didn't force shit upon you.
I found it insufferable.
No, you did. You were like, you have to download this
And
now while
I
we were
was-
somewhere else.
You
and
made me
watched it.
VNC into my own machine at home to download it to put it on an iPad.
I asked if you wanted to watch it, and you're like,
You made me do
yeah,
that.
I suppose. And I'm like, great.
I'm not a fan of zombies. I'm not a fan of slice of life, so it didn't land with me very well. And it's fine. People can like what they like. Conversely, we watched an episode of Gangsta, which I'm very interested in actually continuing watching.
Oh, yeah?
Gangsta is sort of this strange Italian-esque city, and there's a couple of guys who are gangstas for hire.
The opening does not do
No,
any
it does
manner
not.
of justice whatsoever.
Because I just watched
That's
that.
a bad thing to watch.
So basically, they're gangsters for hire, and they're working for either the
Police or gangs.
or little old ladies with shops who have people who loiter outside too much, who are actual gangsters.
Yeah.
But the one really interesting twist that gets me hooked is that one of the guys,
One of the main characters,
who's a super samurai wearing a suit, Yakuza type guy, is deaf.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting the way they treat a person with disability.
He does like sign language?
He does a little bit of sign language, yes.
But mostly lip reading.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So but when he wants to communicate with somebody else,
He either just body language or
Tries to
sign
speak.
language. But when he tries to speak, it's very forced and very.
okay.
So is
That
there
guy.
more story going on? Because this kind of seems like a lot of fighting.
But
It's a lot of
is
fighting.
A lot of fighting, but a lot of.
But is it like tournament fighting, or is
No.
it just like fighting?
It's going to be fighting for the side of whoever is paying them, and if they believe that those people are right.
Okay.
So it looks like there's
It'll be
going to
like
be
Black Lagoon.
there's an overarching story that we haven't seen yet because we've only seen one episode. I'm excited to get into it.
You watched Get Backers, though, right?
I did watch some of that.
So it's a little bit like Get Backers, but more mature.
Okay.
The next thing on our list right now is that we finished watching, because it's only one episode and it's short, is Little Witch Academia, The Magical Parade.
Which
Yeah.
I just received on Blu-ray.
Yes, but we watched when they downloaded it from Trigger's website, because we
Vimeo. They
we
had a
backed it
Vimeo link.
on the thing, and it's perfect. It is
In every way.
It is. It is perfect. The animation is
yeah.
great. The story is fantastic. It's all hand animated. The story is fun. It's. Yeah, I guess it's kind of slice of life.
The story is mildly generic, but like the animation and characters are just so endearing.
It's the right length. It's about half hour to 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
Just buy it and watch it.
No,
And watch the
I'm going to
original.
agree with Ian. It was perfect in all ways.
And
Yeah.
watch the first Little
Watch the
Witch
first
Academia
one and then
if you
watch
haven't
this
seen
one
it.
because there are things.
It matters.
Yeah. But what a good use of your night to watch the
Oh,
first one and
God,
the second
yeah.
one. Yeah.
We did watch another series all the way to completion this season, and we were actually really upset with what was on TV normally, so we watched Bokurano.
Yes, and it was perfect in every way.
All right.
We decided to watch anime from 6 to 8 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, Bokurano. If you have not seen Bokurano, you really should, and I don't think we're going to spoil it for you.
It's not a very
Well,
good
it's a
idea
group of
to.
kids end up contracted to pilot a giant robot and fight other giant robots to protect the city.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
It is amazingly depressing.
Children die.
It's by the same guy who did Narutaru's Shadow Star, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
And that's why I refused to watch it. Because I watched Of Narutaru and I was like, I can't take it.
If you're afraid of things happening and happening permanently, don't watch this series. But
there are permanent repercussions for every decision everyone makes.
Each of these characters you see on the screen have their own personal arcs, and they all intertwine, and it is heartbreaking. But really good. Really well animated. The music is beautiful.
Yeah.
And will get stuck in your head and will be terrible. Which brings us to the next series that we've watched from 6 to 8 years ago, and by 6 to 8 I mean 15 years ago.
Which one is this?
Which we haven't quite finished yet.
Yes, and I was going to mention this because I am watching Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memories.
Oh, okay.
Yes, not Stardust Crusaders.
No, Stardust Memories.
Yeah, Stardust Memories.
Yeah, we've got like a couple episodes left.
Is that the first Gundam?
No, this is actually a Gundam series that takes place in between the first Gundam and Gundam Zeta. And it's I think this was one of the last fully hand animated Gundams.
It's
can
really
tell.
good, though.
It's
super good.
Cori described it as basically the Macross Plus of Gundam.
Yeah.
Ah.
In terms of the length of the series, how beautiful the animation is. The story itself is also kind of similar in that there's a couple of pilots that are...
What do you think of it, Cori?
I really like it, and one of the things I find more intriguing about it is that there's some really good female characters in it. Like, one of the main characters is Nina Purpleton, and she's an engineer that builds the Gundams.
Oh, neat.
And she's doing research on how they perform. And then there's another one that works with
her best friend, Mora.
Her best friend, Mora, is a mechanic, and she's huge.
She's from, what's that island nation? New Zealand.
Maybe.
Yeah, she seems like that.
She's Maori?
But she seems like she's also a person of color.
Cool.
Which is another thing that Gundam's really good about doing,
and
is racial
she's
diversity.
a mechanic.
Cool.
Yeah. So she works on the flight deck.
And they have, the characters have realistic relationships with each other. And it's all around a great adult series with lots of fighting fighting giant robots and explosions.
And that's the thing, is that I heard about this for years, and everyone says, yeah, you totally watch 0083. And the thing that I don't like about Gundam is the feeling that if you have not watched all of it, you are missing way too much of it.
And this is a good starting point, I think. And you first, Cori, because this actually was kind of a starting point.
No, because we've watched 3 Gundam movies, and I've watched so much other Gundam. Sorry, I'm not a beginner.
No.
And it's harder for me to buy
we own
get
the
into.
Dendrobium.
Yeah. This was my starting point. And I felt it was self-contained enough as a story that it works just to watch it by itself.
You don't need to know the lore.
It focuses really heavily on events during the 1 Year War. And so there's all of the characters are dealing with the aftermath of that, and all of the character motivations come from that. And the Zeon pilot's trying to do things specifically because of stuff that happened during the war. So if you don't know anything about the war, or you don't know why Gundams are significant, then probably watch other stuff first.
But it will certainly make you curious for other stuff, too.
Yeah.
Which takes us now to the other Gundam series we watched this season and finally finished.
Yeah.
Gundam Recongiuista in G.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we finished it.
Wow. That
So incomprehensible.
show and yet...
I love it.
The characters are just so approachable and, again, fully rounded as people with
But you have no
motivations.
idea why they do anything. None of their choices
They
make
are
any sense.
extremely motivated in what they're doing. I don't know why they're doing those things.
Okay. That does not seem to be a selling point for me, though. That seems to be like you're telling me not to watch it.
But you feel it. You get behind what they want.
Okay.
You want them to succeed. You want all of the characters to be happy, but you don't know why they're doing anything at any point.
We have to go to the moon. Okay, why do you have to go to the moon? No, we really have to go to the moon, and it's important. I believe you. We have to go to the moon now.
We have to get in giant robots and fight each other. I'm just like, why are you fighting each other? It's like, no, I have to stop this person.
And it's a weird show because there's really no bad guy.
Okay.
No one is framed as the bad guy throughout the whole series.
Okay.
There are points in episodes where, this person is the antagonist for this episode.
Right.
But then the next episode they'll switch perspective a bit. And it's like, oh yeah, they're just doing this because they're the police of this particular station. And
there are also some murders that people don't remember, like the day after they happen. They're just like, oh, you killed my mentor. We're gonna hang out now.
But it kind of makes sense given the stage that humanity is at that point. There's been no war for centuries, and it's a couple of countries starting to figure out how to put together armies and make war against each other.
Huh.
And then there's another group that remembers the old wars and says, wow, you guys are really bad at...
We have to intervene.
This follows on Turn A Gundam, is my understanding,
yes
right?
and no.
Yeah,
it
but
follows
it comes
on
way
it.
after.
It comes way after it, but it makes no reference to Turn A Gundam.
Right,
But
if you
it does
wanna know
make reference to Universal Century.
Right, but I mean, Turn A Gundam technically also does the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just very oblique about it.
But if you like Gundam, you should watch it.
Also, there are space elevators.
Yes, there are there's an incomprehensible line at the end of every preview.
Oh,
which
good.
I
And
love.
the first episode, the line that gets you to watch the next episode, even if you can't bear to watch it.
Watch it.
So Tomino really knew what he was going for
Yeah,
here. He's
it's-
like, people
well,
are
it's
not
like-
going to like this, but I don't give a shit.
Apparently,
You won't know what's going on if you don't watch it.
Apparently, there's going to be an OAV that will explain it more. And Tomino has literally said, "This show's kind of unfinished.
Wow.
We
We need to explain things a little bit.
So that's coming to maybe wait for the movie that will tie it all together.
Oh, neat. Okay.
The other show we watched from years ago was Anohana, or at least I watched that.
Yeah.
I made Ian watch it because I
Marathon,
couldn't bear to watch
Longer name,
it.
Just so you know, everybody, but Anohana will give you what you need to... Well, it'll be in the show
You'll be
notes, which
able
will
to
actually
find-
have show notes this
Yes.
time.
Searching for Anohana
Yeah.
will get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't. This one I will. Well, there's nothing to spoil.
Tell me all about
you
how
might as
you
well
liked
spoil it, 'cause
Anohana.
it's-
there
old.
is no spoil. It is. It's not a slice of life anime.
No, it
It's
isn't.
again. There are consequences. There's a dead girl that only one guy can see. That one up on the screen right there, and it's all about how he brings together his old group of friends that split up after this girl died.
And he hasn't been back to school
No.
for like a while because of this, and everyone else has kind of
few
moved
years.
on.
Well,
but-
everyone has their own hang-ups for that. I mean, one of the people has decided that they're going to go off and escape this tragedy in their lives by just escaping the country
Yeah.
and going as far as they can. Another one just decides to distance themselves from all of their friends.
And this happened, like the tragedy happens when they are kids. Like
Yes.
it's not something that recently happens to them. It's something that all happens when they were like elementary schoolers. But you're
But
catching up with all of them when they're in high school,
It
which
is
means there's been a lot of time.
It is a flashpoint in their life that changes everything.
Yeah.
And so this girl does come back from the dead in ghost form.
Yeah.
To
And
reunite them.
actually does. It's not a kid yet, and to reunite them.
Yeah, it's not a delusion he's having. She's a ghost.
What I thought was interesting was that she comes back as like the age that they all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
But she's
opposed
still
to-
dressed the way that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
she was.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking and beautiful, and everyone has to watch this series, and I can't believe it took me so long to do so.
Yeah, also the ending theme is a complete fucking tearjerker.
Oh, I love it.
And I can't deal with
I
it.
can't
listen
deal
to
with it
all the
either.
time.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's a cover. Like it's a remake of other people having sung it. Any one that I listen to, any one of like the originals, or the other covers that I listen to of that same thing,
It will ruin you.
every time. Doesn't matter who's
Just like
singing it.
tears.
Yeah. Oh,
So yeah, instead of watching bad stuff from this season, I watched Anohana.
good for you.
However, speaking of bad things from this season, I did finish watching Knights of Sidonia Season 2.
That's surprising. You would put those two things together.
Which was such a huge effing disappointment for me.
All right.
Knights of Sidonia Season 1 was a hardish sci-fi series with mech in space.
Also a bear.
And also, yeah, a bear is with a mechanical hand.
Okay.
Who used to be a pilot, but now is
Hard
is
is.
That's
cooking in
completely
school.
explainable then. Okay. Yeah.
It's okay, they're clones.
And then Knights of Sidonia Season 2, while still being nice and weird, and I will give it that, turned into a harem series.
Really?
Yeah. Or not a harem series, but it did turn into a harem series because the character who was the third gender suddenly decided, oh yeah, now I need to be a woman because I'm moving in with the main character and this other girl and this slime girl into the same house with the main character.
You got slime girls too?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she's
Now you'll watch
plasticine
it?
pipe girl. It's really terrible, and it's not what I wanted. I wanted a hard mech series with realistic physics, and I got a love triangle with a slime girl.
My apologies.
So instead, what I decided to do is go back and start watching more Space Brothers.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so we have to finish that up.
So I've got to recommend Space Brothers to anyone who hasn't seen it. Space Brothers is the story of two brothers who, when they were young, make the promise to each other to stand on the moon together. And their lives take different paths. The one brother, Muta, with an afro, decides to go off and become a car designer, gets mad and headbutts his boss, and is fired from being a car designer. Well,
Because his boss smack-talked his brother.
yes, who decided to actually go ahead and become an astronaut, and is now on the moon.
Yeah.
And so he's without a job. He has no prospects for his future, and decides, well, what the hell? I'll put in my application to be a Japanese astronaut for JAXA.
Yeah, because he's skilled enough to do it. It's not
Yeah.
like a thing where we're just picking people off the street. It's like, no, he studied, he has the skill, he's an engineer, he knows all these things.
Yeah.
He
He just doesn't have the confidence.
yeah, he's really qualified. He just never actually thought to do it.
And he gets in.
Yeah.
And so then it's the story of him going through the astronaut training process in just near future. So it's just farther in the future enough that
Everything feels really plausible.
that we can have colonies on the moon and we can be considering a trip to Mars,
Yeah.
but not so far that there's artificial gravity and all that. And
Also,
this
there's
is my
dancing.
favorite opening
Yeah.
Yeah.
for it because there's dancing.
How many episodes is that at?
I
Do
think
you know?
it's 52 or 56.
Yeah.
It's in the
Okay.
50s, so it's long enough
It's
that
in the 50s. There's a movie. There's a live-action movie.
Okay, because we did watch like 12 or 14 episodes or something, and it was good, and I don't know why we dropped it.
We ran out of time to actually watch it, was the
'cause
problem.
You were watching too much anime.
We were watching a whole bunch of other things, and it was like, well, Space... I think we lost Space Brothers for a couple weeks, and it was like, okay, we don't have enough time, so... And then new things are coming out, so we'll get back to watching Space Brothers.
And that's
then,
what happened to us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we just restarted again. So because we were watching Space Brothers, we had to watch the other show we were watching in tandem
At
with
the
it,
same time.
Polar Bear Cafe.
Ah!
Which, I hate slice of life,
Yeah,
right?
you do.
Yep.
And yet,
But we
sense.
both love gag series.
yes, we love gag series, and this is no, it's not even a slice of life because it is
It's a gag series.
fully gag. It's about a polar bear who
No,
owns
it's about a panda.
You're right. It's
Yeah.
about a panda who has to get a job because their mother says, get out of the house.
Yeah.
So the panda goes to get a job being a part-time panda at a zoo. But in the meantime, we all end up at the
He
polar
runs
bears.
into this cafe
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is owned and run by a polar bear.
Yeah. So there's the polar bear who runs the cafe. Panda becomes a regular, and there's the other regular who's a penguin.
Yep.
And other animals show up. And it's somehow a world where animals interact with humans, but are still animals. They're not fully they're only anthropomorphized so far in that they can talk and manipulate objects.
And that they don't eat other humans.
Yeah, they don't eat
Yeah.
like humans.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll drink coffee.
Yeah. No, they don't eat humans. Like,
yeah.
they don't... Like
Not eat like
Shirokuma.
humans.
There's,
They
there's, a
don't
polar
lion,
bear
there's
doesn't-
a lion character.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna... He doesn't just up and kill somebody. It's like, no, I'm going to, I'm going to go into this cafe, I'm going to eat food.
But he still likes meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still loves eating meat,
Yeah.
and there's still a hierarchy to the animal kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll just gloss over that. It doesn't really matter. Like penguin eats fish and
Yeah.
stuff,
Yep.
but it's not like you're going to see fish, like sentient fish, walking around. There's a level of what they're allowed, what's sentient and what isn't.
But the hijinks that they get into are just completely mundane. Like, let's have a baseball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or let's go fishing. Or Penguin-san can't get the girl he likes
Yeah.
because he's not into photography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, poor penguin.
It's-
His whole love thing.
I don't know how far you were into it, but
It's-
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we passed it.
It's
Okay, yeah.
so
The dates.
much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I was also telling you about the thing that I was doing where I occasionally make searches for the things that I watch.
Right.
And we got burned a few years back. We loved Prince of Tennis. And we loved the OAVs for Prince of Tennis.
Yep.
And then we watched New Prince of Tennis.
Oh.
And New Prince of Tennis
garbage.
It felt like garbage because it wasn't about tennis anymore. It was about going to the mountains and avoiding eagles and
Having a balloon tied to you and
being
able to hit 8 balls with one racket swing.
Yeah, and it didn't make any sense, and it was
Tennis has
just
changed since I last saw it.
it was too beyond tennis.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, well, there's new Prince of Tennis, new Prince of Tennis, new Prince of Tennis season 2, which turned out to be awesome.
I refused to watch it.
Instead of the garbage that was happening on the mountain,
Right.
this was all about the people actually practicing tennis at the tennis school.
Okay.
And being really great at tennis and really shonen, achieve your dreams.
Through friendship.
Not through friendship, but through the power of hard work, which is one of the moves, or rather levels that you attain.
So I will couch this in that during the original run of Prince of Tennis, every time they fought another team, all of those characters joined the character group.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And so they fought 7 or 8 schools.
Oh, yeah.
And each of them had a team of 10.
Yep.
So
Plus a couple people who weren't on the roster during the fights.
or came over from America to
Good
visit
God.
or something like that.
So this takes place in the Japanese all-star training camp to
So it's-
represent Japan on a
that's
national
why
stage.
all of the different characters have different uniforms and everything like that, because they're all from different schools that they've had previous encounters with.
I'll have Paul switch over to the other Prince of Tennis animation because this was from the follow-up series to that, Prince of Tennis versus the Genius 10, and this was the worst CG animation I have ever seen. In the worst song, but again, it was just more of the good Prince of Tennis that I can highly recommend to anyone who wants a good, fun shonen series where it's triumph after triumph after triumph. And that's everything I watched this season. Cori, do you have anything else to add?
Nope.
Okay.
We're going to talk about next season?
Well, in that case,
Yeah, we should do that.
Quickly?
Yeah. Okay, so previews for the oncoming season. We'll just go down the line, I guess?
Yeah, sure.
All right. How about...
What it is, what you
some-
think it's about, and why you're excited.
Yeah. Young Blackjack.
What's it
Of
about?
course.
Young Blackjack.
Oh,
Who's Blackjack?
He's a genius surgeon. He can help anybody. He can do all sorts of surgeries. He's amazing. He has the hands of God. That's what the tagline is. He has the hands of God.
The classic Osamu Tezuka Blackjack.
Yes. Yeah. Not whatever the new weird that has come up once or before, but
I have a question because
Yes.
I watched this PV.
yeah.
Is he Frankenstein or something? Because
No.
he has an
No.
awful lot of stitches.
when he was a child, he found an unexploded ordnance on a beach and then touched it,
Yeah.
and his life was saved by another surgeon.
okay.
Did it explode?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Very yes.
He was saved by the flute nose looking Tezuka Star System member.
Okay.
The one who's like Astro Boy's dad or something. I can't fucking remember.
He's the one that's
Just
Tenma.
curious
Yeah.
because they were showing off a lot of
Yeah.
him
Okay.
half naked and stitches.
The reason he has the darker skin is because probably they took some
It
from
was
a
a
black
skin
guy.
graft from his mother.
Oh, from his mother. Okay, because they generally this is a point of this is trivia in older manga. How they would generally illustrate black skin is they would shade it blue.
Right.
There's a lot of Blackjack art out there from the manga where parts of his body are shaded blue.
Okay.
So that would mean that those skin grafts came from a black person.
That actually explains Skunk, the classic Astro Boy villain.
Yeah.
Why he looks the way he does, but still blue.
Yeah, it's
That's
odd, but
horrifying.
That's how it was done back in the day. So a lot of his skin grafts, obviously
Blue.
from his mother, but from other people as well. And it was basically this doctor put him back together, and and the reason part of his hair is white is because the skin that got replaced
It
with that could
happens.
grow hair, it can't get melanin, whatever. He's just an amazing surgeon. I love the OVAs to pieces. I love the TV series, which is generally lighter toned.
Yeah.
This looks like it's not going to be as lighter toned, and it looks like there's also going to be an actual antagonist like it was in the OVAs.
And this is a prequel.
I like Blackjack, so I'm totally watching it.
You was your first cosplay.
He was my only real cosplay I think that I've done. So yeah. I love Blackjack. I'm definitely watching this.
Okay, cool. I actually think that the upcoming season is pretty sparse, so I don't know how many of these I'm going to actually stick with. But Comet Lucifer seems like it might be
It's true.
interesting. Okay, so essentially you're on there's a planet called Gift, Sure.
No, I've read Saga. That's fine.
There are precious crystals called Gift Geum
Yep.
for some reason. Sogo,
Which I believe is the thing in bubble tea.
he is a boy who lives in a town that flourishes from mining. He gets lost underneath some mining caverns, finds a lake, and then a blue-haired girl with red eyes shows up, which is funny because the PV that's showing, which I looked up because I'm like, well, maybe there'll be more things that will explain it in the PV because all of it says is like, and then their adventure begins.
Oh.
The PV is about 2 minutes of this girl, no other characters ever showing up, a lot
Bouncing
of
around.
feathers,
Yeah.
some flying, and then she shows up in a crystal at some point, and I'm like, okay, so I thought the series was about a bunch of people, but it might just be about
And
this
in the
girl now.
cover art, it's like the one guy, and they're all female.
Yeah, like
So I'm worried about
I
it.
mean, I'm glad to see Ainami Rei getting more work.
Yes.
So that's good.
I think it might be fun. It also might be awful. I can't tell.
On that note, speaking of Tomino, a long time ago, there's a Tomino character whose name's Rei Asuka.
Nice.
Oh, so for
Your turn
me,
now.
I am excited about a movie that is leading into a series. It's called Ajin. It might be called Ajin Shodo for the movie. I've been reading the manga. It's called Ajin the Demi-Human. And it's about a world where some people are immortal and they're feared. And the main character gets hit by a truck and finds out that he's one of the immortal people because basically the black smoke comes out and he reassembles.
Okay.
And I like it because it does really interesting things with immortality, like beyond the just, oh, scientists can experiment on you forever. It's like, no, they get like kidnapped by terrorists and locked in a barrel forever.
So it
Kind of
sounds like
thing.
Highlander
Yeah.
the series, but anime.
Yeah.
And it kind of explores the ramifications of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's they have powers beyond being immortal, but that gets built up over time.
It's
And-
it's supposed to be a horror.
It is a horror.
Yeah.
It's a horror series. It's kind of a psychological horror, but I'm iffy about it because it's animated by the studio that did Knights of Sidonia.
Ooh, you might not be happy with the animation.
I might not be happy with the animation,
Oh.
but I do really like the series.
All right.
Actually, that's one strike for Sidonia Season 2. The animation got a lot better. But that wasn't enough to help. Hokuto no Ken, Ichigo Aji, Fist of the North Star, A Taste of Strawberry.
Me too.
Yeah, it's Fist of the North Star, but funny. That's really all I know about it, and that's all I need to know.
And I'm gonna watch it because I've never seen any Fist of the North
Nor
Star.
have I.
Really?
Right, and that's why I'm gonna watch this because it'll be my entrance into understanding this
Yeah.
massive
Probably
weird.
not.
This is one of those series that we're gonna have to just sit down and watch with Alex.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got to say about that. It's just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it's going to be gag anime. It's going to be good.
Back to you, Beej.
In the same vein, then Shingeki Kyojin Chugakko,
All right. In English?
the Attack on Titan Junior High.
Wait, what?
I'm watching this because this is going to be another gag anime. So, and it is about the characters from Shingeki no Kyojin. But the whole thing is based at a junior high, and as you can see from what's going on in the PV, like I want to talk long enough to let this go on long enough so you can see what happens. So I hope that's what we're watching. Actually, is the
No,
right one.
so
No, we're not.
no.
Shingeki.
This is
That's Sakurako. I have a feeling.
No, I think
yeah,
that was
it is.
Interesting
That
that
is
we could actually
Sakurako.
see the. Well,
Yeah.
talk about Sakurako then.
Okay. Because Heather was probably going to do that. Sakurako-san no ashimoto ni wa shitai ga umatteiru. I'm just going to start calling Sakurako-san because I
It
don't give a
is
shit.
also known as A Corpse is Buried Under Sakurako's Feet or Beautiful Bones, Sakurako's Investigation.
This is about a guy who meets a girl or has a girlfriend. They're in their 20s.
He has a girlfriend.
He has a girlfriend. They're in their 20s. And they become detectives, and she likes bones.
She's in her 20s. He's a high school student.
He's
Oh,
a high school
awesome.
student. He's completely normal and somewhat serious. He likes to show her off because she is hot in her mid-20s, and she comes from a rich family, and she has this weird obsession with beautiful
She
bones.
wants to bone.
Yeah, so we're all on board with this, I'm guessing?
I'm interested, but just going to call it the Susie Salmon story?
It's only listed as a mystery series. It's the only tag it's been given. It
looks pretty.
There's a point where there's in the PV she's holding a human skull, but then in other parts of the PV, all you see is like some animal bones and stuff. So what I'm hoping for is, instead of
a murder mysteries,
which is going to be a murder mystery every single episode because that's what happens, but that it'll be more like there are some animal bones and I'm not just always looking at human bones.
I'm curious to see if it's going to be like a comedy, treated like a comedy, treated like The Garden of Words, about a woman who's fundamentally broken inside in some way.
That would be really cool.
Needs to work some stuff
high
out.
School, man.
Do we have the PV for?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's a
One
different
Punch
one,
Man.
which is the other series we need to watch with Alex Stacey.
Or by ourselves when we're alone.
One Punch Man is a story of a man who is a superhero who defeats his enemies with one punch.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
It is an unstoppable punch.
Yeah.
And it just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I have not read the manga, but Alex has told us a lot about the story.
And One is the guy who originally wrote this and did the art. He has some other manga he does as well, and he doesn't draw well, but it's a gag series is what it is. And then he at some point Murata came along, and Murata's the guy who he did Eye Shield 21, which is the American football manga, which is very detailed, and said, I'm going to pick up this story and redraw it.
Yeah, and it looks stunningly beautiful.
Which heightens the gag thing, I think, beyond that.
I
But
love that series so much.
I wanted to read all of the original, and I don't think I'm going to get through it. I'm just going to come back to reading the Murata version.
Watch the anime, because the gags are so good in the anime.
Yeah, it's true. Because it's like, if you could always defeat a guy with one punch, why would you ever feel good about that ever again? Right? You just be like, oh, this is so boring that this always happens, right? So that's his thing.
Okay.
All right, so I'm also looking at Concrete Revolutio, because apparently you can't they can't just have revolution. Chojin Genso. I'm expecting this to be awful completely because of the description.
Yeah, but it looks like the style is awesome.
Yes, that's why I want to watch it.
Yeah.
So it's set in another Japan, so probably an alternate.
Okay.
In an imaginary age of gods 20 years after the war, whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, no, that's nice and vague. I like it.
What if all superhumans ever written about in fictional stories existed at the same time? Which sounds like a great fanfic.
I read the description as well and saw the still image, and I thought, this looks kind of meh.
Yeah, from the still image, it looks.
But in
Wow.
motion.
In motion, I'm getting real Sentai vibes out of this, and tokusatsu style craziness.
Yeah, I really like the design with the guy with the purple hair, who I think is the main character, who works for the Superhuman Bureau, which their big mission is basically find other superhumans, oversee them, make sure they're okay, probably deal with people who are not doing well. This is what actually makes me want to watch it, is the fact that there's a magical girl in it, and then also potentially giant robots. And I don't get that combination very often.
No, that's going to be really exciting to see how that turns out, whether it's going to be garbage or great.
Yeah, if I had not watched the preview of this, I probably would have just been like, no.
I had already written it off, and now I'm turning right around.
Yeah, but I'm also afraid it could just be hot garbage.
We'll find out. We'll find out together.
Me.
Yeah, you.
Digimon Adventure Tri.
Yes,
For the
is
third
finally
episode in a row.
coming
they promised.
in this season.
In about 2 months, they've promised.
They promised.
I mean, we know what this is.
We know what this is.
So it's
We
kind
can
of
just sit here and watch the
TV
trailer
one more-
again that they
So
released earlier this year.
It's not even a
older,
trailer. It's just
right?
It is a trailer because there's a voiceover and
a still
It's-
shot.
It's you going, oh, those are the characters I remember and love.
Okay.
And it's amazing, and I can't believe they look proper.
They've even still got all
They've
the
aged them up
accessories that
and-
they've
yeah.
But
had
they
before.
look proper. The animation
Yes,
looks
they-
like
yeah.
it's supposed to be.
okay. In your opinion, is this going to be a merchandise cash-in?
I don't care.
Of course.
Well, no, but I mean,
also it's going to be good.
All Digimon has been a merchandise cash-in,
Right.
but this is the old stuff, and why would they re-merchandise a lot of the old stuff?
nostalgia.
Yeah, but beyond
More
that,
disposable income.
it's just the little... That's it.
Okay.
Ian, what do you think the storyline of Digimon is?
People go to the digital world.
I'm led to believe
Wait.
they're the champions.
Yes, they are in fact the champions. They have digital monsters, and the digital monsters are the champions.
Right.
But they have to change into digital champions
I'm not hearing anything
to
about Devilmon
save the
or
digital world.
Drillmon, Bestmon.
Okay.
Got him on.
Okay.
So, speaking of things we've been waiting for forever,
Christ.
Lupin III,
Yay!
Blue Jacket Edition.
L'Avventura Italia.
Oh wow! I've been clenching so hard until this opening sequence came out.
It's a really good opening.
Yeah.
You know what makes me happy is that we both chose the opening as
Yes.
what to show as opposed to just the PV.
But
'cause
I
it's
brought the high definition version because it's important. Because
Yeah.
this is so
Good looking.
good.
Yeah.
I was so worried about Lupin being. We've had years of Lupin being too edgy and maybe a little bit. They've been trying to make Lupin dark, as we've seen in
The gritty reboot
yeah,
syndrome.
well, the gritty reboot with the Fujiko Mine, and then the Greystone of Jigen Daisuke, which was still pretty good, but it didn't have that end of series 1, beginning of series 2 Cagliostro feel, and this really just the opening to me it says they understand what fans of Cagliostro era Lupin really loved about the series. But then you get things like what's about to happen here with this slash open and a really well rendered Fiat 500,
Yeah.
which is an interesting choice to give him, first of all. But the mechanical design, the animation, the music that they got Yuji Ono back and just said, here, use your trio. Don't mess it up.
What I love is that the hero shot at the end has all four of them and Zenigata.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
and
because
he's
that's what this
just
is.
like-
It's a set piece.
He's standing slightly off to the side, so you know he's not with them.
And he's not happy.
yes,
But it's weird because it's like this shot. It's
He
like
is
you
one
would-
of the main characters.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters. Like that's what this is meant
But
to be.
everyone-
I'm totally looking forward
but
to this.
The show looks like it's going to be a ton of fun, and
Yeah.
all that remains to be seen is it going to be a overarching serial, or is it going
Episodic.
an episodic series, or is it going to be more of an arc?
Because it takes place in Italy and San Marino, I'm sure it's a serial.
Yeah.
Because they're
What
not
would
saying
you-
it's worldwide. There's like it's just in one area.
what would you prefer?
I don't know.
Do you have a preference? Would you be happy with either one?
I would be happy with either one, and I'm just excited to be on this adventure.
There's been so much. There's been so much episodic Lupin though that really a long form series would probably be kind of interesting to watch.
But we want capers.
Well, sure.
So many capers.
Yeah.
I can see it's not going to be a gag comedy
Yeah.
from this, but it is going to be
Lighthearted.
Yeah.
So that's my number one.
All right. Kindachi Shonen no Jikenbo R2.
Kindaichi case
Kindaichi.
files.
Yeah.
Yes.
The files of young Kindaichi returns.
Yes. Oh God. The only guy who can wear a mullet these days. Poor Kindaichi.
Stuck with that forever.
I've watched every Kindaichi series since they've been coming out, it seems. And when Kindaichi Shonen no Jikenbo, when Kindaichi came back a couple years ago, I was excited. And then it came back with an R series, and I was like, oh, cool, they're going to continue doing more of this. This is great. And now they're doing R2, so it's like, okay, so we're getting more of this, because I think we got a cliffhanger at the end of R. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. It's been like a
been a
couple
while.
years.
We should just rewatch it.
It's a Japanese tradition.
Yeah, it is.
Kindaichi.
It's a shonen mystery series that plays all the mystery shonen tropes that
And let's
you
be fair,
expect.
it's a shonen murder mystery series because everybody
No.
dies.
Peach, I don't think you understand. A mystery series in Japan in anime is
Involves
always
death.
murder.
Yeah, it's almost always murder. And I had hope for the original R because it was like there was some things some mysteries they were doing that did not revolve around murder, and I'm like, that's good, but then there were also a lot that did, and I was like, I don't like that so much, but you always have to have locked room murders and stuff. I'm just excited for this.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And me too, because it's actually decent. I'm going to watch a show called Dance with Devils, and I don't care who thinks it's hot garbage because I like this kind of bullshit, so I'm allowed.
What's it about?
I
might have to watch it too.
Have you? No, you're not going to want to watch this. Have you ever seen a show called Vampire Night?
No.
All right, so it's a shoujo romance about a girl who's ordinary, and look at her, she's in the preview, and she's all singing and happy, which is a really stupid part of the preview, but she does that. And then, all of a sudden, there are all these guys who are demons, and she's attracted to them, and they're all attracted to her, because it's what they call a reverse harem, which is a dumb term, but that's what it's called. I don't care, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
Reverse harem with demons.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I might as well pick out the garbage one that I don't think we have a preview for. See, Utawari Rurumono.
Utaware Rumono.
Utaware
Yeah.
Mono.
Itsuware
no common.
Yes.
False
So
mask.
it looks like it's probably just going to be a generic fantasy harem series, but one of the characters has a bird head, which I'm interested in, and I don't think they're going to be in the. I watched the PV, and they're not in it.
It
Were
might be
you-
a mask.
Were you not? No, that is not a mask. That
Okay,
is
fair
for
enough.
the show. Were you not in Anime Club when we watched the original?
No, I didn't watch the original.
Oh, okay. Because I'm
Yeah.
actually partially excited for this one
Okay,
because.
but
it's-
it might be so generic.
Oh yeah, no, it will be generic. The original is essentially a guy wakes up with amnesia. It's the same plot.
In the field.
I
Yep.
think they're different characters.
But bird head.
I'm not sure if it's a direct sequel because I can't tell. It doesn't look like
It doesn't look like
but
it
it
is.
doesn't look like a remake.
It is listed as like connected to the previous one.
Yeah, like the first one in the description, it's literally the same kind of start. But he has a mask that he can't take off for some reason that he doesn't know, which they never bring up unless you watch the anime, but there's also a dude with a mask in this, so I'm expecting it to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
This will be incredibly generic and forgettable because I can't remember the first season that I completely watched and I want to watch this.
Cool.
Birdhead.
Ian.
I am interested in watching.
Are you low on stuff?
No, not at all. I've got
Okay.
a few more here actually left. Let's go with Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blood Orphans,
Oh, yeah.
which is a new Gundam series, which generally I am wary of, especially because this is going to be a non-Universal Century Gundam series, which I generally steer away from
Okay.
because they don't carry the tradition. But this does seem kind of interesting. It's about a world where there's a colony on Mars and there's the Earth that's going on. But the colony on Mars, because it's a Gundam series, isn't happy with the way that they're being treated by their ruling people on Earth. So they're going to
Invade.
Revolt.
revolt somehow.
Oh, so this is alternate timeline Gundam. This is like Gundam X or Wing Gundam.
No, this is more like a Wing Gundam or
Okay.
a Gundam 00. Or,
Okay,
It's
okay.
definitely not within the
It's
Universal
its
Century.
own isolated thing, but there are giant robots.
Understood. Okay.
But the characters look pretty interesting, and the mech is certainly very
you can
different.
get a Gjallarhorn.
Yeah, well, you can be in Gjallarhorn.
oh, I see. Okay.
That's the name of the overarching stamp down the people.
Oh, I see.
They're the bad guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the good guys are part of this army for hire. And
Yeah, they're like a tiny mercenary platoon.
And Biscuit Griffin is in it.
And he wins best Gundam name.
Yep, of the year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And,
Best of the season.
I'll watch a few episodes, see if it's any good, but it seems to be pretty exciting. The animation looks pretty top notch.
Gene 7 Stark.
Yep.
Another Stark.
No, they're everywhere, aren't they? The mechanical design looks really good. Could be fun.
All right. Hibike. Fuck. Hibike Euphonium Kakedasu Monaka and Hibike Euphonium Suisogakubu no Nichijou.
Yep.
So here's the thing. I liked Hibike Euphonium.
That's Attack on Titan.
Yeah, that's fine.
Keep it playing.
I don't know why
Playing.
things.
I'll watch this
Yeah.
while they talk about something that I
Yeah,
really.
this is the Attack on Titan
they mislabeled
Junior
again?
High. I don't know how they got mislabeled because I was labeling all this stuff, but
I don't know.
Um,
Ian read through and relabeled stuff.
anyway. You're doing.
He really didn't want to hear about euphonium.
So Hibike Euphonium. Okay, they're coming out with 2 specials. It sounds like. So I'm going to watch both of them. Kakedasu Monaka is about what happened to Team Monaka. They're the ones who didn't get to go to regionals. I can't remember if it was regionals or semifinals or nationals or how they called it at the end of the thing. But
Band fight.
Yeah, they band fight. They didn't get to go to band fight because they weren't good enough.
They weren't good.
Yeah, and so they end up, because some of them were like first years and stuff, and so what ends up happening...
You talk about this like that's what the series was about. Because that sounds interesting.
So in any case, the Team Monaka, they decide that, well, they'll have to be the support group, because that's what happens to anyone who doesn't get to go, is that they have to work on practicing on their own and come up with stuff to submit to whomever, to the band director. And
to
they
hot
also
teacher?
And to hot
to
teacher.
hot teacher.
And they also end up like, I think, carrying stands and helping with setup and doing stuff at the event. And they also, Team Monaka in the series also end up making charms for everybody, or good luck things or whatever like that. And so this is kind of their story, which I think will be interesting. And then Suiso Gakubu no Nichijou, I believe, if I remember this correctly, is about it's the everyday practicing life of one of the groups of instruments. I think it's the bass group, the tubas, the euphoniums, the whatever. So that might be what you wanted the show to be about then, and you could just watch that and get all the practice
It
you
sounds
wanted
to
out
me
of it.
like it's not going to be about them practicing. It's about what they talk about when they're not doing instruments.
Well, they're supposed to be
We're
the
probably
meeting,
going to watch
so-
this together.
Yeah.
If it is actually not what the actual show is,
It-
I'll
it-
let you know.
It
but
could be
probably
the
it won't be.
K-On! I don't know, but yeah. So anyway, there's that.
I ran out of anime, so Digimon Tri forever.
Corey?
Oh, you can steal one of mine. I've got a list of things that. Let's see.
Actually, I know there's one that you're going to want to see, Heather.
Are you sure?
That we're making recommendations to each other.
Yeah, you might want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't write down any of the OVA stuff, but you're right. There's the Fate Stay Night.
Unlimited Blade Works.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an alternate ending.
It's going to be a happy ending.
yeah, a happy ending.
We haven't finished.
We haven't finished this, so
Unlimited
I
Blade
guess
Works, so
I
I'm-
guess we've spoiled ourselves that's not a happy ending.
I've been kind of prepared. I've been told that Unlimited
it
Blade Works does not have a.
Who told
Good
you?
time.
It didn't really look
Chat.
like it was going in a great place.
As you can tell from what you're seeing on
It's
screen.
That's normal.
That
That
was
happens.
That was the beginning.
Yeah,
Gage.
that's
Tokyo's on
that
fire!
started.
That was 10 years beforehand.
All right, fair enough.
I think it was 10.
But it's good animation. It's still UFO Table who's doing it. It's still.
All right. Who else has more stuff?
I was going to go with Kagewani, which is a monster mystery series. There's a guy.
Yeah.
He'll be researching monster stuff. There's no other information about it. It's the first thing the studio's done, the first thing the writer's done, the first thing the director's done.
Wow.
It's all new people.
So big pet project.
Yeah.
Cool. Or maybe the only thing they get to make or break there.
And so there's just the art for the poster
Huh.
that I've seen. There is a website. I didn't go to the
I
website.
thought you were gonna. I thought that was Kawabon or whatever, which is like the description for it is this horror series is going to be animated with rotoscoping.
Oh, yeah.
I read that.
The animators will trace
Did
over
you-
real life stuff and animate it in that
Okay.
way, and that's the whole description. And I'm like, wow,
so
there's really a lot to go
Did you watch
on.
the preview of that?
No, I didn't. I
'Cause
don't want to talk about it.
No. You want to hear this because I watched the preview.
Christ,
'cause
I got
I'm
another
like,
one to talk about.
What is it about? Oh, look, the preview only shows them doing some filming and talking about how they can make rotoscoping happen, and how much they love film techniques and rotoscoping. Also, we're making a horror series probably. It doesn't tell you anything about the story.
Wow.
The description
So
of,
that's
of
literally
what that is about.
Well,
is
yeah,
what is,
that would
is
explain why they
accurate.
got that. That's
Yeah.
probably where they got that from. Okay. Anybody have any more?
Yes.
Okay.
Osomatsu-san, which is apparently
Yeah.
Osomatsu-kun is a very long-running manga, and it's sort of a gag slice of lifey manga about sextuplets, and
They're all different.
Yeah, but they're all different in a slightly different way. So one of them is the best fighter, one of them is better at studying, one of them's something else. But this is what happens when they grow up and become adults. And it seems I I need to learn more about classic Japanese manga, and I think this is a great way of getting into it. So it looks like a lot of fun. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting much, but
I saw it too
curious.
and didn't think about picking it up, but I would watch it. It didn't make my list, but I think if you have some, I would watch it.
And the animation style looks really different.
It's
looks very original. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. And I have one more, but I'll...
Okay,
let
so
it
then
come
I'll
around
go
again.
and then everybody else?
Yep.
Okay. Komori-san wa kotowaranai. So Komori-san can't say no. Now, that sounds really...
It just doesn't sound like it's going anywhere good.
Yeah, so there's no PV for this because the only PV I found was just still images of the manga cover. It's a manga by Cool Kyosogiga, and it's about a high school girl who's helpful. And the problem is that she's so helpful that she's always helping people out and always doing things because she can't refuse anybody's request if they come and ask her, says, hey, can you help me do this? She's like, okay, I'll do that. As a result, she's become freakishly strong because she's always carrying things and she's always moving stuff around.
Yeah, I heard about
and
this.
she has friendship with a couple of other girls and they have their own personalities and stuff too. And it's a yonkoma. I really like it. It's by the same guy who does I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying. What's the new one? The one about the girl who's a dragon, but she comes to town and turns into a maid instead of being a dragon. And she's like a world-ending dragon, but she decides to be a maid. And he does another series called... what the hell is it called again?
It's
about a girl who's an Ojo-sama. Ojojojo. That's it. Ojojojo, which is really
not
good.
a JoJo.
Yeah, not a JoJo. It is
wish.
Ojojojo. And Ojojojo is actually really cute, nice manga. It's more yonkoma as well. Kyosogiga does like a lot of stuff. It's very prolific, kind of like Daumen Seiman. But he's getting an anime for this. I watched I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying, and it's kind of like meh. But this, I'm like, well, I like the manga. Maybe I'll like this too. Done.
I don't have anything. Digimon Tri forever.
All right. Going down the list, Heavy Object.
Just like to watch a heavy object.
It's called Heavy Object.
Oh God, I hope
like
so.
The title's in katakana.
Oh, heavy object.
It's Heavy Object.
Wow.
So it's about a world where they build these giant robots that are epically large and like round sphere things with treads, and they just wander around the desert and shoot each other. And so it's about just some people training to be an assault force.
Drama?
And it no, like action
Okay.
comedy maybe. But yeah, it might be a harem series. I don't know. But just the giant robots look so ridiculous.
That's you caught my attention.
Yeah.
So
that's one to look
episode
for.
at least.
Neat.
Heavy Object.
Gundam: The Origin. 2.
All right.
The Tears of... I think...
Sailor.
Artesia's Sorrow.
Artesia.
Yes. It's a adaptation of the great Gundam: The Origin books, following the events of the previous Gundam: The Origin OAV, Blue-Eyed Castle, where we get to see Char and Sayla grow up a bit more, and Char actually start to become more Char-y. Perfect.
Char becomes the Char.
Beautiful animation. It's true to the manga, which is great. Perfect. They keep shoehorning these mobile suits into it where they don't belong, but that's okay.
This is pre-Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the characters in Mobile Suit Gundam are children. Here.
This is a prequel.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that. If you like Universal Century Gundam, you're probably already watching this.
Do you like Gundam? Have some Gundam.
If you're looking for a jumping in point to Gundam, this might not be a bad start. Not this one, the one before it, and then this one.
And then the series, and then watch it for the rest of your lives.
Yeah. You'll be hooked for
You have
life.
35 years to catch up on.
Okay, let's see. I've got Hero Company, which is an OVA series that's about a comedy Sentai team that do paperwork when they save someone. It's a day job to be a Sentai team.
Why haven't I heard about this?
And they're all dessert themed. There's one like named Chocolate, and the pink one's Strawberry, and she has jiggly boobs, which worries me a little bit, but everything else seems fine.
It's a comedy series.
Macaron.
Yeah.
No, it's a drama.
It's a comedy
No, I mean,
series.
you said it was a comedy series. I'm like, that's why she has jiggly boobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
That's
serious
not
when they
why
fill out
she
their
has stickly
paperwork.
boobs. It's Hero Company?
Yeah, Hero Company, OVA series.
Neat.
You got anything else,
Nope,
Ian? Or should I
I'm
just
done.
go through the list? I was looking at Garo Guranotsuki, which is a period drama set in the Heian. It's kind of a sequel to an earlier Garo series where a guy has a golden mask. But in this one, it's about someone else. It's about a female musician,
Yes.
potentially.
I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she plays the
Shamisen?
round.
No, the round-bodied
It's
one.
round.
The
Oh.
Jamison.
Anyways, that one looks a little interesting. It looks like a fighty series, fantasy fighty. And then there's Subete ga F ni Naru, the Perfect Insider, which might just be a derpy romance thing, but is pitched as some people discover a body and try to solve a murder mystery.
Wow.
Movie?
No, that's a series.
Wow. Okay.
And then the last thing I have is UFO Gakuen no Himitsu,
UFO School Secret?
Secret of the UFO School.
Well, yeah.
But the English title for it is Laws of the Universe Part 0.
Sure, because of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
All
it's just there's some people, school, UFO.
Like the UFO shows up.
The thing doesn't specify that there is a
So-
UFO in the synopsis, but
All right.
the title involves UFO.
Comedy?
I don't
Drama?
know. I don't know
No
much
real
about
details.
it, but like the poster's been out for a year, and it's been like this will be a thing eventually. This is its name. It's got a weird name, and then beyond that, I have no details.
Jesus.
Okay.
Okay.
So that brings us to the end of our...
Well, I don't know. Are you done with your list?
I believe so.
Okay.
Ian can see the list from where he's
Yeah.
sitting.
Okay.
It's okay, Beej. It's okay. We've gone on
So
long
as I
enough.
was saying,
Yeah.
that brings us to the end of our list of not recommendations so much as, I guess, well, yeah, our recommendations and warnings from last season,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and our frothing anticipation for the
I don't
coming
remember
season.
doing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There was that part where I was
Just right
talking
into the
about really
mic.
liking stuff.
Yeah, so if you think we've missed anything about what we're looking forward to, you're wrong, because we've looked at everything and we know what we're looking forward to. But if you think we've missed anything, then let us know either in the comments or on the forums is probably the best place to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as always, thank you so much for watching, because you support us through
Yes.
the Patreon.
Which you
Right
can
down
find
there.
at
Look at that.
patreon.com/loadingreadyrun,
It supports these podcasts, these long podcasts,
where we talk about anime too much.
and all the other podcasts we do,
Where
which
we
are
don't talk about anime too much.
and are
Yeah.
much shorter and easier to consume, as well as all of our videos, our crap shots, our streaming. Everything is supported by you.
In fact, just go to the Patreon. You'll find all the things that you support.
Yes. And yeah, I think that's it, unless I've missed anything.
No, I think that's good. So I'm Beej. You can catch me on Beej's Backlog, Monday nights on Loading Ready Live.
I'm Heather. I have a stream too. It's called Heather's Handhelds. It's also on Loading Ready Live,
Tuesdays.
but it's twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun on Tuesdays.
It's important.
I'm Cori. You can see me Tuesdays usually with Ian on iHorner or various other streams if I pop in.
And I'm Ian. Yep. Ditto what Corey said. And
Yeah.
thanks
What
for
I
watching.
said.
We'll see you in 3 months.
But not before then.
Not before then.
No.
No.